All we need to smile at each other, wish for your brother, help one another. All we need is love. All we need to honor our mother, shelter our sisters.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wish you all Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, we're going to have a very interactive session, very few serious PowerPoints, and I'm not a nutritionist, but I've been in practice for a long, long time. So more so when I title this Foods for Thought, I think the time has come for us to review what we eat, because I'm seeing a lot of Malaysians here rather than our overseas brothers and sisters, but nevertheless, okay, most of us nowadays eat because it's nafs, yeah? We eat because I'm so hungry, we eat because I've not had that for a long time. You know, we eat because, oh, I miss my mom's cooking. All right, we eat because let's go out and makan. Okay, but you forgot that you eat because you want to get the barakah of foods. Okay, so when you are raising children, you are going to be parents or you're already parents. This is the most important thing. When I choose this, is because I feel that, you know, if you are to open up, we have gone through the agricultural revolution, we've gone through the technical revolution, the IT revolution. What I foresee in the future for us to save the ummah, to keep us in the right path to Allah, what I see most is that we have to look at nutrition as the basic of your knowledge, because you are raising the next generation of young Muslims, and we have to be, besides getting the barakah of Allah, I think there's so many things in food nowadays that you have to be very, very careful with. I think we Malaysians, okay, when you walk into a restaurant, you see somebody with a tudung, or you see a Pak Haji inside, that you're comfortable. Okay, you never question whether your food served is halal, whether the pekerja there, the workers there are Muslims, you know, they may be Hindus. And you never question the halal and haram because it's served and the environment is comfortable to you. I think we should stop short of that practice. And from now on, be more astute in how you eat, where you makan. Yeah, okay, so I'm just going to show you a lot of pictures and some thought-provoking issues. That's all I'm going to do this morning. Okay, so be very casual about that. By all means, you can raise your hands and I'll respond to you immediately. Okay, see some sisters waiting outside, but let's proceed because we have Salat at 1:15, yeah? Okay. Essentially, this is very simple. We're not going to go through all that, okay? But this is actually the barakah of food, while you eat, okay? So you have to niyat. I'm not sure whether when you makan, like I said earlier, you actually niyat, you makan because that rezeki comes from Allah. You may say your Bismillah, okay? You may say that, you may say the dua too. But do you ever think that when you eat, that's rezeki from Allah? So everything you do, amal, ada niyat. Yeah? So you have to niyat. And the niyat is because you want to have energy, you want to have growth, you want to maintain your life so that you can be the servants of Allah in its true sense of the word. Not just Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. You know, syukur pada Allah. Okay, I like that. I wanted to see that. My young man is here. Say, you are what you eat. So if you're not careful, that's where we are going. That's where our children will go, the direction of what we eat. Okay, you are what you eat. This is so accurate, I think, nowadays. And just to verify again, this is actually not the true hadith from as Rasulullah said it, but I'm just taking the substance of that. Like we heard earlier in the hall, the seed of every disease is in the stomach. Whatever religion you belong to, whatever belief you had, you still know, everybody knows, every human being will know that the seed of every disease is in the stomach. You know, being in practice for the last 30 years, being in practice for the last 30 years, I've seen so many situations where, you know, my young patients are now presenting to me with high cholesterol, diabetes at the young age and all that, because purely that is the disease of lifestyle. So if you can do something now, you know, the Prophet wants us to take care of your health. You are supposed to be the best of Muslims. You're supposed to be very strong. And the best thing to do for yourself is take care of what you eat. Okay, what are the issues that we want to look at today? You know, just to provoke some thoughts from you. Okay, food portions. All right, I think, you know, if you're guys, you go to a place now, free frizzy drinks. You know, you buy one little burger, but you can fill up your big jumbo jug of, you know, Coke, whatever. Likewise, you know, in the US now, the servings are grossly, you know, like that. You know, there's so many programs on television. I think you can watch, you know, where they compete to eat the biggest amount of serving of burger and fries and all the other things put on the table. Okay, so one issue is food portion. And you know the hadith says that if you eat 1/3 food, 1/3 water, and 1/3 air. All right? So kita boleh bernafas. Okay, so if you're going to eat, you know, with this big portion, besides creating all the diseases that you have no way to control, okay, you are also going against the sunnah. Okay, this is just an example. Okay, you know that. All right, versus, okay, we are here, we are fortunate, we work, we earn a living. You know, Malaysia is quite a beautiful country, we are rich kind of thing in a way. Okay, you eat, food is at your disposal. If your parents come from the kampung, they know how hard it is to earn a living and to feed their children then. So when we become parents now, we tend to overfeed our children. Yeah, we have food abundance. And sometimes your children or you yourself at home will know that you waste a lot of food. Our restaurants do waste a lot of food. Yeah? Okay, so these are real issues. So as mothers, as house managers, when you plan for a meal for your family, okay, you plan so that there is enough for you. Or to give your neighbors, that would be beautiful if you can do that. Okay? But we are, you know, really overeating, overindulging in food, and we forget the fact that some countries, the children are growing in starvation. You don't have to go very far. We have to look at our own background. We have to look at Cambodia. We have to look at the Philippines. We have to look at India. We have to look at Indonesia. Some children don't even have 2 meals a day. All right. So this is something that we want to provoke into you. You know, think about that when you're having your own meals, and try not to waste your meal. Teach your family not to waste your food. All right, I want to put up this one. Okay, this is the other thing about it. Okay, the adab of makan, the adab of food. I think even adults do that, or young men in the universities probably do this. You eat in front of whatever. You may say you're doing your work. You eat in front of your PC, your laptop. You eat it in front of the TV, all right? You eat while your children or your brothers eat while playing games. Okay, so in a way, there is no adab in berjemaah. Yeah, if you have a family, ideally you should be sitting together in one family, facing the food, saying syukur kepada Allah, alhamdulillah for the food on the table, and then you have to eat in the manner that Rasulullah did. Okay, there is a sunnah, the adab of makan. All right, but we forget that. Mom, you know, coming back from work, you're tired, you just say, you know, give your children a plate full of something. Okay, they choose to eat in front of the TV, that's fine for you, because it's easier for you, you don't have to wash that many dishes. Yeah, okay, only 1 pinggan per person. Okay, and that's the truth. I mean, I'm doing this to remind myself too. You know, I've raised my children, but I'm going to see my children raise their own children. Okay, so this is some little things that we have to be aware of. All right, the other thing here that I want to point out likewise is when you're having a Western meal, I think on the left, on the far right, when you cut the food, okay, you've cut your steak or your chicken or whatever it is with your right hand because the knife is there. You tend to put that mouthful with your left hand. Yeah. Okay, you just go to a restaurant and watch. Good Muslims doing that because sometimes we fail to instill in ourselves the right discipline, the right adab of makan. You know, when you cut your food, your right hand, you automatically will put the left hand into your mouth. And that's where the iblis comes in. Yeah, okay, so remember that. Like this girl here, you know, she's a good Muslim, I'm sure. She forgot the fact that she's having a cake in her left hand. This is just to remind ourselves, you know, try to have and keep the adab of makan. Okay, this is food portion again. I just put this up because nowadays when you have nasi lemak, you have one fried egg, you have the kerang down there, okay, you have chicken, okay, these are all the proteins in that portion. Maybe you have a little bit of nasi, you think that, okay, less rice, less calorie, I'm not going to put on weight. But we are now also changing the portion of your food, okay? And ideally, lost, okay. Okay, likewise, if you're having, you know, this big meal, okay, maybe we don't do that, we cut it up, but I still say if you're having a steak like that, okay, in a Western society, you're having a Western meal, that will be the portion of your protein. Okay, that's a little bit of carbo, probably mashed potato there, of course, great, you know, it's got some veggies there, but the portion has changed. And because the portion of your makan has changed, protein to carbohydrate to vegetables, we are invoking more chronic conditions. Because you know that diseases like heart disease, you know, and other things are related to your food intake. All right, too much protein, too much animal fat, okay, that's going to be bad for you, all right? Because we're going to compare that with the diet of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Okay, don't forget that. This is good. My son is here. All right, that's all sugar. You know, in a glass of fizzy drink, carbonated drink, sugar is like 9 to 11 times. That's simple sugar, glucose. So as soon as you take some fizzy drink, of course you dilute it with ice, thinking that's fine. Then you top up the glass again after that. You are just consuming purely sugar. And it's got its own implications. Maybe for us, too much sugar leads to too much carbohydrate. For the little ones, for little sons and your little brothers, too much sugar, they are going to throw the havoc in your house. They are going to be super hyperactive children. Okay, that's just a little bit more preservatives. This is the MSG inside food. All right. Sorry, this is a little bit serious. I just put it up because I just want to remind us that we have to eat what is good and halal. Yeah, all right, halal and toiba. Okay, so there is such thing as the fitrah of food. Okay, and all the factors around here are the ones that would affect your food values. Okay, some factors you can change. Maybe you have got no control, not much control on the environment. You know, you have your lifestyle of your food, you have your cleansing process. If you eat out, all that will be affected, all that. The whole thing about being halal is all that process, not just between pork and alcohol. Okay, these are all bab halal and toiba. Okay, anything colored is good for you. Simple. Statement of the day, yeah? Anything colored has got high antioxidants, you know, whether it's, you know, all that, fruits, vegetables, all that. Nowadays you have purple cabbage, you have purple salads, all that, anything colored is natural, is good for you because these are the antioxidants. You don't have to go and buy something so expensive for your supplements, you know. Go for natural antioxidants. And like that too, okay, these are fruits. Okay, my pointer is playing up a little bit, I'm sorry. Okay, anything colored, all right. Malaysian fruits will be that, mangoes, okay, that's not our style, that's expensive, but you know, go for that. Go for the oranges, go for, not here, buah delima, go for buah naga. This is our local foods. All those colored, they've got high antioxidants. So eat those in big portions, yeah? Less carbohydrate, but go for the colored fruits. All right, likewise, nuts are good for you. I will show another slide later on. Okay, the diet of Rasulullah has got 60% nuts and lentils. Okay, because they are complex carbohydrate and they give you good fibers, okay, and they don't raise your blood sugar so fast. So when you take complex carbohydrate, it is better for you. All right, fish, okay, we have abundance of fish. Maybe if you're in Saudi, in the Middle East, maybe you don't get access to fish so much, but in Malaysia, we have no problem. We have rivers, we have the deep seas, all right? So eat a lot of fish, you know, less the animal protein, the chicken and the meat, the beef, if you can. Breastfeeding, something so natural and so good for the baby, if you're raising a family. I think there will be a session or workshop on breastfeeding alone. Because you know that when you breastfeed, you are transferring to the baby all the immune globulins, all the natural defense system for your baby. Likewise, when you suckle your baby, those who are mothers here, maybe not many, when you suckle your babies, there is a process where you release your pitocin, your hormones, and that helps you to shrink your uterus after birth. That's a natural process. Allah is great. Okay, we are made in a way that everything is natural and spontaneous as Allah has given to us. So I am so proud nowadays to see young mothers. You are really so motivated to breastfeed. Soon after birth, you suckle your young ones, even in the labor ward. I'm really very, very pleased because during my time, for us even to go off work to breastfeed, we were not allowed to. Being a doctor in a medical department, I couldn't even take leave to breastfeed my babies. But nowadays, you have mechanical pumps, you have electric pumps. I understand that you go to work, you put your 2 suction pumps on your breast, put your laptop on the table, or you put your PC, and you can do your work at the same time, you get milk out into the bottles. I mean, that's technology. For once, I say, Alhamdulillah, that's great technology. So for the husbands here on this side, the fathers here, please do encourage your wives to breastfeed. Yeah, okay, so something so natural, comparable, you cannot get any other formula to be like mother's milk. You know that. All right. Versus that, I think sometimes, somewhere along the way, you have to give your baby some formula. Yeah, as a supplement, maybe, if you can suckle for the first 6 months, that's great. If you can go so for another up to 2 years, that's fantastic. All right, but if you have to supplement, you have to supplement. Okay, it's not so much cow's milk is not good. Okay, it's not so much that. But you have no idea how they raise the cow to produce the milk. The question here now is about the environment. The question here is about the foods they feed the cattle. All right, not so much. Allah created everything for us. Everything good is for the consumption of man. We know that, okay? But it's how the animals are raised now. That's the biggest question. Plus the process. The food processing. All right, your growing years. Okay, I was hoping to see a lot more moms here today. Okay, never mind. Okay, balanced diet. I think we don't have to go there. Just a picture. Carbs, okay? Carbohydrates has always been a problem, okay? Now everything is processed food. Everything is simple carbohydrates. Okay, you don't go for the complex carbohydrate very much. So when you take so much carbohydrate, you bring up your blood sugar stat immediately. Okay, high glycemic index. Natural glucose goes into your stomach, absorbed, becomes glucose. So what happens when you have high level of glucose? What do you stimulate? What hormone? It's a bit of biology. Come on. Insulin. Yes. Okay. As soon as you put in, like bulan puasa, okay. As soon as you put simple carbohydrate, you stimulate insulin. All right. You know what happened? That insulin is supposed to use up all your glucose. All right. That's natural. Allah created us that way. But what happened to you? When you take something so sweet like a glass of Coke or something, your insulin then works to balance your blood sugar so that you don't become hyperglycemic. And you are going to get a sensation of, wow, I need something sweet after that. Give it 1 hour to 2 hours. In the next 2 hours, you are going to be thirsty again because your blood sugar has come down. All right, that's how you look at, go refer to some biology books, you can get that, yeah, okay. So as soon as you take something so sweet, you are going to go and say, I need another sweet thing to fill up my stomach, naturally. All right. And what happened when you do this through your whole life cycle? You are young sisters, beautiful, young brothers, still so handsome and so smart. But what happened when you do that long term to your lifespan? Say like you live to be 60 or 70. What happened when you have such insulin fluctuations up and down? You are going to stimulate chronic diseases. Particularly, you're going to get, poor blood sugar control, diabetes. You're going to have more susceptible to infections. Your immune system is going to come down. You're going to get degenerative diseases like arthritis, dementia. This is scientific facts. And of course, you are going to go into speedo aging. All right, so don't talk about anti-aging now. You are going to speed up your aging process purely because you do not manage your insulin. That's new science facts. All right, so we are recommending that you take good small portions of your meal. All right, and balance that through the day. I mean, like maybe last meal before Maghrib, that would be the best, yeah? Okay, take your breakfast faithfully, especially if you're still studying. You need all the sugar, dua pada Allah. You take the breakfast because you want the energy, you want your brain to function smart and all that, because you're still studying, doing your assignments and all that. Okay, that's the fitrah of food, the barakah of food. Okay, but finish your meal by about 7 or so. There's no such thing as melepak-lepak teh tarik till midnight or 2 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, in my books, okay? Okay, simple for young ones to remember. How much carbo do you need? Say nowadays the restaurants, because of cost saving, that's all you need in a pinggan, yeah? One fistful carbohydrate. Senang je, if you're going to tell your anak to discipline them, that's all the nasi they need. One fistful, that's all. Portions, yeah? We're talking about portions now, per meal, so that you can balance your calorie for the day. That's all you need, one portion. Don't look so surprised, brother. Bapak punya portion maybe lebih sikit lah agaknya kot. I don't know. Yeah. Okay, I'm talking about the brothers here. Yeah, when you're so hungry after your kuliah, after work, I can see that by 10 o'clock some guys are out with nasi lemak. By lunchtime I see the guys are eating again. This is really our culture. Kita makan because of nafsu. Kita makan not because of the barakah of our food. Yeah. Okay, that's all the carbo you need. Okay, all right. Alright, your protein is only the size of a palm. 1 palmful. So if that's your chicken size, that's all the protein that you need. If that's fish, maybe half a fish, a cut of a fish. If that's beef, like that, sesendok of about that much of protein. That's all they need. Palmful sahaja. That should be smaller than your rice, of course, yeah? Tadi I showed you the burger, remember how big the burger size is? Okay. And I would love to see that. One whole hand portion size of vegetables and fruits. So this is simple things you can remember to bring back and institute that in your own family management. Simple portion. Yeah, sisters are laughing, brothers are so serious. Okay. So review your carbohydrate intake, guys, okay? All right. Now, then we worry about calcium, okay? Mothers raising children will worry about calcium. Young girls start to worry about their calcium because, as you grow older, your calcium is going to wear out and you're going to get osteoporosis when you go into menopause. You're going to have problem. You can see your parents suffering from arthritis and all that. Okay, so you worry about what calcium. You want to take calcium, you go for a lot of dairy products. And I will tell you why I will not encourage that. All right, I tend to change my advice to my mothers now. I used to come back from Australia, of course, oh, you must give your children milk. You have to give them milk every day, so much milk, they're all carton milk, of course, okay? That's my advice if I did. Most, balanced calories are in milk. I change the tune now. I don't really want to advise parents to give your children so much of dairy products. In Malaysia, we don't really live on dairy products. That's not our natural diet. You know that. Okay, so these are a lot of commercial terrorism, to say, in the food industry, where we are pushed to accept the values of the West. So maybe we have to go back to who you are. Remember the upstairs? Okay, your building blocks, who you are. So we can go back to what our parents teach us then, and make that our lifestyle now. So I put it up, yes, they are a good natural source of calcium, but don't forget, sunshine. We are blessed with a country, sunshine, okay? Like how many hours a day? 7 to 7, all right? So why are you afraid of the sunshine? They are the best natural violet rays for you to manufacture calcium through your vitamin D, all right? So, but if you look at that, okay, vitamin D, you need it for your calcium absorption. But only 20% of vitamin D actually come from food source, okay? So I would recommend that in order to get that of vitamin D a day, you only need like exposure of 5 to 7 minutes of sunshine every day, all right? But make sure the sun is not the hot sun yang tengah hari punya, yeah? Maybe the one in the morning before 10 and the one after 3, just expose your face, your arms and your legs. I'm saying this now because inshallah, I'm so glad our sisters are all fully covered in their aura. Yeah, you don't expose when you are out. But you have to make some time from yourself in a private environment, in your own room, when the sun streams through your windows or whatever in your backyard, make some time to expose your arms and your legs for a few minutes a day to get your natural sunshine. Yeah? You don't have to sunbathe the way they do, yeah? Okay. These are very natural. Tell your mothers to do that because they are the age where they're suffering from osteoporosis and osteoarthritis. Tell your mom to do that because sometimes they never get out of the house. Okay? When you go into the car, you pasang aircon, fully covered, nice. You don't have to expose anything. We are so comfortable with that, we forgot that the sun is naturally what Allah gives us every day. Yeah, so a lot of women now, I'm not sure about the men, men are more exposed, yeah. A lot of women now, when they get old, they will say, doctor sakit sini, sakit sana, you know, everywhere sakit lah, all right? But that's because they lack vitamin D. Not the bone pain, I'm talking about the muscle pain, the body pain, that's related to lack of vitamin D. So what we have to do now, we have to supplement some of our patients, our senior patients with vitamin D supplement. Before we never did that. Nowadays, we have to do that. Yeah? Okay, so remember your vitamin D. You also have your moms, your dad, and all that. Tell them they must get a little bit of sunshine. Keluar rumah sikit. Saya just nak cakap, makcik tawaf je lah keliling rumah sekejap pagi dan petang. Simple term dia faham lah kan. Okay. Alright, these are junk food. No children here, so fine. I think let's pass that. I don't think you guys and girls go for that. All colored, all sugar, purely junk. Yeah? You may say you need the glucose when you're studying or doing your work because you say, oh, my brain needs some glucose. So you put a pack of candies, Smarties depan you all. Don't do that, please. Okay? Color in itself is already mudarat pada kita, yeah? Okay? So try to abstain from munching on things that you don't have to munch on. Okay, genetic engineered food. Maybe we have not talked so much about that. I'll put it up for you to look up. The internet is the best source for you. Source up genetic engineered food. All right? So you say you don't want to take cow's milk, you want to go for soya. But if there's not our soya, we don't manufacture the soya here. The soya that comes from another country are genetic engineered. There's so many food that's been genetically engineered. And na'uzubillah, we don't know what the outcome is going to be. All right, we know that kind of meets the food demand. We know that helps the starving nation. We know that for a fact, okay? But we do not know the long-term effect. When you change the biology of certain things that you consume for yourself, all right, you don't know the long-term effect. So we have to be very wary. Maybe everybody has to go back and start to build a little garden for themselves now. Yeah, if you have a house and grow your own veggies. All right. Every time I look at that, I would think about not so much of processed food. I think that this is a processed man. Okay? Something like that, yeah, okay? But all that we put on our table nowadays are processed food. Of course, the food has to be processed. But in that processed food, there are so many toxins and contaminants. Think, you know, have a look at it. It's easy to fry your son or your child a chicken nugget in the morning, of course, senang, okay? Fry dengan minyaknya, okay, dan. But then, nothing like natural fresh food, yeah? The chicken has been preserved, the tepung has been frozen, and all that, the MSG added to it in order to await the food. These are all contaminations in the food that we take. And it has got its own implications, yeah? Okay, think about that. Okay, look at this processed man. Please remember this one plus the one I put up first. You are what you eat. Go back with that 2 slides. I think you're going to be fine. Inshallah. Okay, briefly, just a little bit in all the food. This is a bit of serious slide, but I think just share. Okay, you know that chemicals that go into food. I'm not a nutritionist, but I think there's sulfate, nitrite, benzoate. If you are a chemist or somebody in biochemistry, you know all that. You have MSG, all the flavoring from that, the milk and the stock. We're not talking about halal as yet, but the question down here is halal and taibah, yeah? Your coloring, these are detrimental, especially for children. You know that when children take a lot of colored foods, they become very hyperactive. So we are seeing a higher population of ADHD children now, children with autism, children with this, you know, all the learning disorders and all that. So that has got to do with foods that we give them, all right? The sweetener, this is not natural. The enzymes, especially the enzymes, the question of being bovine or porcine. Okay, so bovine is from beef, porcine is from pork. All right. So all that thing, the big question is whether it is halal and good for us. Okay, this one maybe you have no control. This is up to the policy and the environmentalists to, make loud noises about that. You have chemical fertilizers. Yes, we need it, but we're destroying a lot of our environment. And all that goes to your table. Yeah? Don't be mistaken. All that goes to your table. And we have that, okay? So you can have a lot of programs. Clean the river, love your river, and all that. At the same time, you have all the industries churning out all their waste toxic chemicals into the river. If you are a good Caliph of Allah, you know that besides yourself, you have to take care of the environment. So you young Muslims, this is the platform for you to be very, very positive. Make sure you are heard when you're doing whatever you are in, NGOs, student bodies, work, and all those platforms you're on. Think about the environment because the implication is long-lasting. All right, okay? Just a little bit. It's a little bit serious, but I think I just put it up to make sure that we have a complete session. If you have a question, raise your hands, okay? I got a few more pictures to share. We are seeing that now, okay? We are seeing that a lot now, okay? Gastrointolerance, that means gastrointestinal, okay? System usus. Intolerance to a lot of foods. Anak-anak kita bagi makan, dia allergy dan sebagainya. They get diarrhea. Even adults pun cannot tolerate a lot of foods now. You come back from the restaurant, you end up with food poisoning. Because you are taking non-natural, and we are taking contaminated foods, okay? You've got a lot of use of allergies. You know that the recent statistics of atopic eczema in children has gone up to about nearly 10%. Anak-anak baby yang kecil-kecil have got a lot of skin problem. From birth to say about 1 to 2 years of age. Okay, that's allergy, all right? We are depressing the immune system of our babies. All right, so when the babies are born, the immune system is lower than the way we were when I was young. Okay, I'm, dah banyak dekat. When we were playing outside, tak pernah pakai kasut, we don't have shoes on, we touch everything outside, climb the trees, go into the river, masuk sawah, panjat pokok. I did all that. Okay, tak makan antibiotic pun. All right, don't you think so? We don't. I mean, rarely get an infection. Our children now, they get a bit of flu, sent to nursery, they come back, you are worried, the fever is high, you bring to the practitioner, you end up with an antibiotic. So in that process, you already knock off some of the natural immune system of that baby. And this goes on and on and on. From birth, bila you beli wipe, most of the wipe you buy for your baby are bactericidal wipe. The wipe bersih baby, semua, everything. Basuh tangan, bactericidal. So in a way, you kill so many bacteria that is natural on your tangan and your skin. You kill all the natural pathogens on yourself. Then you have a very unnatural environment. Yeah, your immune system comes down. So maybe you have to think about where you belong and where you come from. Okay, just a little bit of thought for that. Okay, of course, rhinitis, asthma, that's seriously related to allergy. I'm sure if I ask you to put up your hand here, maybe it's a good idea. How many of you have got some form of allergy? Either rhinitis, asthma, or skin allergy? Can I just have a show of hands, sisters and brothers? Okay, brothers semua kuat-kuat belaka. Okay, alright. That's a gambaran. That's an idea of what I'm talking about, okay? Because we are living in a very sterile environment, so to speak. Vitamin deficiencies, obesity, diabetes. I will focus a little bit on cancer because this will be my platform. I would love to tell the sisters here about the risk for breast cancer a little bit later. Yeah, okay? Okay. Just a gambar, I think, to remind ourselves. I think, inshallah, everybody that walk into this workshop today, smart and slim and healthy looking young sisters and brothers, Tanya. Okay, but please don't grow up to be like that. Yeah? Or please don't raise a child to be like that. Okay? You go back from this session today, tonight, if you have dinner out, you tengok one family that walks in, you tengok anak dia yang bongsu sekali. Situ senang saja. I mean, that's why I always smile at myself. Anak yang bongsu sekali, you akan tengok. Overfed, overweight, overindulged. Alright? Bila you tengok anak yang besar, you tahu dia anak bongsu. That's the other way of looking at it. Okay? So try. This is not a discredit to MACD. I don't intend to do that. I'm just trying to show the gambar saja, yeah. So please don't report me to them. All right. Why? Why do we talk about that? Why we talk about the barakah and the fitrah of food? Okay, this is what I want to provoke. See, besides, okay, I have to blame on social media. Okay, I do blame the social media. Don't you think that what we consume, say you are 20 odd now, you are 15, you are 30 odd, okay, what we consume has made our personality change? You know, it cannot change your genetic trait, but it can change you in many, many ways. So now you hear a young man shooting down the school. All right, you see even in our society, Malaysia, we see a young man mengamuk and killing parents, grandparents. It is okay. Besides, it may be a mental disease. I have a strong instinct in myself that this is definitely related to, we have changed our diet. We have changed the portion of carbohydrate to protein. We have taken protein that we're not sure where it comes from. Yeah, for a fact, like if you're taking fish, did you ever think that bila you makan ikan, ikan keli lah yang biasa dalam restoran. Okay, if you know the farmers yang buat ikan keli tu, memanglah ikan keli naturally duduk dalam kolam. Makan bersih, nature, whatever lah. They are ikan keli and ikan lain. Most of the ikan, besides being herbivore, makan rumput rampai dan sebagainya. If they are also farming chicken, so bila dia sembelih ayam, when they slaughter the chicken, the waste of the chicken, the stomach, benda-benda dalam ayam tu, chop, you know, tambah dengan jagung, food fodder dan sebagainya, feed it to the kolam. Likewise, when you look at big cattle industry, cattle farm, they do the same thing. They farm the lembu for the daging or the susu, but they are going to slaughter the cattle. So what do they do with the rest of the waste of the cattle? All right, this is a fact. They will chop up the najis, the guts, yang tak perlu the kulit and all that yang kita define as najis, and put it to the fodder, tambah dengan makanan lain, okay, and then feed it back to the cattle. That's how we get mad cow disease, right? This is what happened in big industries. I'm not putting my fingers at anything. This is what we have to be aware of. Kalau Rasulullah kata makan daging, makan susu, of course. But zaman dulu kambing ke, lembu ke, they are grazing atas rumput yang bersih, tak ada toxins, tak ada chemical. All right, natural pastures. So now we are no longer that, and that's the issue about giving our children so much dairy products. All right, this is truth. All right, facts. Look it up. All right. So if you are to blame the society, the parents, and all that for all the situations of orang muda, okay, yeah, depression, violence, and all that, I think that's got something to do with what we are speaking today. Okay, hyperactive children, I've said earlier, too much colored food, too much sugar, too much glucose in that diet breeds hyperactive children. Okay, the incidence of ADHD is quite significant. The incidence of learning disorders is also quite high among little children. Okay, asthma analogy, we have talked earlier. All right, a little bit about breast cancer. I love this slide. I put it up wherever I go. Okay, this is Malaysian statistics. Girls, sisters, please note. Okay, incidence for girls now, for our ladies here, 1 in 19. So if there are about 60 of us here, okay, 3 of you will go back, and na'uzubillah, let's hope not, you are going to be at risk for having breast cancer, whether you have a family history or not. So the incidence is 1 in 20, see, okay, that's simple number. So kalau 60, 3 of us, we're going to be diagnosed with breast cancer in no good time, okay? Men do have breast cancer, especially if you have a strong family history. Not girls only, okay? Brothers do. If you see that, that's frightening to me, because 70% without family history. These are our cases at UM and HKL, yeah? So 70%, those with breast cancer actually do not have family history. So you are not protected. Don't say, I don't have a family history, I'm okay. No, you're not. Because, okay? And most of our cases are quite young ladies, 50 years old, and they come to us very, very late. Survival rate, if you look at 5-year survival, not even 60%, okay, regardless of all the therapy that we have come up with, chemo, radiotherapy and all that. So we're only achieving like 58%. So here, my message here, do your own breast self-examination, have a mammogram when you reach 40 years old. If you have a family history, have a mammogram a little bit earlier, say when you are about 35 to 37. If you don't have a family history, do your breast self-examination, do a mammo only when you get to about 40 years old. All right, this is what I want to share. This is related to food that we're talking about here. Okay, look at that at the top. Okay, this is serious. Okay, so maybe this is the real take-home message. Only less than 10% of cancer due to nutrition. Okay, due to genes. So the rest is due to lifestyle, and that lifestyle basically nutrition. So you can change or you can reduce your risk by taking care of what you eat. All right. And you know that's also from scientific experiments plus from population studies. Nutrients from animal-based food increase tumor development, while nutrients from plant-based food decrease tumor development. So go vegan. Makan sayur banyak-banyak. Makan buah-buahan banyak-banyak. Cut down protein. Cut down protein. Yeah, because you do not want to stimulate tumor growth. Here is the point here again. 80% of the cow's milk yang kita makan tadi, 80% of that is milk protein called casein. Yeah, cow's milk protein called casein. And it's been shown that casein promotes tumor growth. All right, so that's a fact. So, but these are hidden from you. It's not in the press. It's not with your milk cartoon tak ada label kat sana, because we are fighting against the milk industry, the dairy industry. They want to promote their sales. Okay, so we are fighting against all that. Okay, okay, we'll miss that. We're not talking about cancer today. Okay, that's about calorie, the portion again here. You are taking too much fat in your diet, more than 30%, and it's been shown that it will promote breast cancer, colon cancer, heart disease, of course. Yeah, okay. The other thing is, when you take from small, you take a lot of animal-based food from young, it is associated with a high level of estrogen, and that high level of estrogen, you know that gives you a greater risk to breast cancer. Okay, time up, okay? So you know that you cepat sekarang dapat period, but you finish your menopause lambat. So you got a long time of your estrogen. And that gives you a bigger risk of breast cancer. So that's why probably we're seeing a lot of breast cancer incidents now. Okay, and again tadi, sugar feeds cancer. All right, you don't manage your insulin, you have so much sugar in your diet, it feeds cancer growth, okay? Omega-3 from beans, natural, from fish, okay, anti-aging. Omega-3, omega-6, the diet of Rasulullah, okay, briefly, 90% natural beans and lentils, 30% fruits and vegetables, only 10% animal source. But your portion tadi, you are taking 30%. All right? And of course, reducing calories help. Kita berpuasa sunat selalu, twice a week, plus puasa Ramadan, okay? And then cara pemasakan, we don't have time for that. Okay, my last point here is, okay, fitness, okay? Have a healthy lifestyle. Okay, not just food, you have to burn the calorie. So if you can walk, you walk. Nowadays, I think girls, because kita dah bertudung sempurna aurat, berjalan jauh sikit from the car to the bilik kuliah pun tak nak. Berjalan sikit from the car to the supermarket pun susah. If you can, park as close to the wherever you're going. Walk when you can. Take the steps when you can. Avoid the lifts if you can. Do your walk. You know, you got to do 10,000 steps. And 10,000 steps tu berapa agaknya? Bang, kalau 10,000 steps sehari tu berapa agaknya? Okay, 10,000 steps I tell you. You want to earn 10,000 steps, so that apa you makan, burn whatever you makan, burn, ya. So 10,000 steps. Kalau you bekerja, normal kerja, pergi office, balik, driving, main anak sikit, that's only the most 4,000 to 5,000 steps. Okay, only that, only half. So to balance so that you don't grow fat, you don't grow obese, you don't have a penyakit, so that jantung kita sihat, you have to do another 5,000. That would take you like 10 rounds the track. Boleh tak? 10 round the track, that's 400 meters, ya? Bukan yang 500. So Anybody actually do that 10 rounds the track every day if you can? Kalau tak dapat 2-3 kali seminggu, ya. On the weekend kayu basikal dengan anak-anak, dengan sisters, you know. Do that. I mean, you are young. Please take care of your health. Now, okay, you are going to be the new generation of Muslims. You are going to be the healthy Muslims. Whatever platform you're fighting for your da'wah and whatever you're fighting for in your society, your association, I think I would love to know that you are all healthy so that there'll be less hope for the doctors. Okay, our function now is more to motivate healthy lifestyle. Gaya hidup yang sihat, namely pemakanan dan activity. So I thank you for listening. Kalau ada masa, you have to catch me because I think my sister here is so anxious about her time. I've got some program brochures near on the table there. If you're interested, I do workplace wellness programs. I do more of corporate programs, but I also do some spiritual motivation programs. I do health retreat package at Sakinah Resort in Janda Baik. I bring family or group members and I do 2 spiritual programs in the sense spiritual lah. We do ke arah Husnul Khotimah. I do Travelog Mahabbah Cinta kepada Allah. Just small module programs. If you're taking a break with your family or your office, okay, if you're interested in my programs, please take my brochure. Okay, and I've got some natural calcium on the table there. My staff will talk to you about that. So thank you again very much, sisters. I finish with Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let's hope we had a good, take back points today, yeah? Okay, thank you very much, sister.